the Pesticides Board Chemical Storage Facility. It is a pleasure to have all of you with us this morning, since this event for us is one of very, very important significance in the regulators of chemicals in Guyana having their own chemical storage facility. We encourage you to join us today as we go through the process of actually commissioning the building and looking at what a storage facility, a chemical storage facility should be. Because one of the aims of this facility is not just for chemical storage to the regulators, but is to also present an example of a chemical storage facility for all of you, the stakeholders, who are having chemicals and need to have proper storage as well. This comes at a time where we are dealing with a lot of issues, especially in the media, with accessibility to pesticides and storage, and these are things that are of concern both to the board as well as I'm sure it is a concern for all of you here. So today's event is very important, and again, welcome.
Today's activity is important to every one of us, as it highlights this government's commitment to protecting human health and safeguarding our environment from the negative effects of chemicals. Most specifically, pesticides, which are used extensively in Guyana. And these chemicals, once used correctly, enhance the livelihood of all. The use of toxic pesticides to manage pest problems has become a common practice around the world. These substances are used everywhere, not only in agricultural fields, but also in homes, schools, office buildings, airports, to name a few. It is difficult to find somewhere where pesticides are not used. Pesticides have been linked to a wide range of human health issues, ranging from short-term impacts such as headaches and nausea, to chronic impacts like cancer, cognitive disorders, reproductive harm, and endocrine disruption. It is important to note that these health impacts are inherently linked to the use of pesticides and practices. The Pesticide Board commits large sums in its annual budget to awareness raising on the safe handling, use, storage, and disposal of pesticides. Over the years, this has seen thousands of persons being trained and educated, from the strata of government right down to the farmer in his field, to the children in schools and communities, and to the general public. We believe that an informed public can take better control of its health and environment. Being educated about pesticides is a basic right. Our vision in ensuring the achievement of the Global Sustainable Development Goals also demonstrates our commitment to sound chemicals management, since 7 of these goals are integrally linked to chemicals management. Agriculture was developed to produce crops and livestock for human consumption. As the human population increases, the amount of food produced is very important. Unfortunately, there are other organisms out there that wish to consume the crops that are meant for humans. The damage caused by agricultural pests is a global problem, and over the past half-century, the amount of pesticide use has increased fourfold. Over the years, the widespread use of pesticides has had several benefits and also caused many problems. The benefits of pesticides include increased food production, increased profits for farmers, and the prevention of disease. Due to the use of pesticides, it is possible to combat pests and produce larger quantities of food. By producing more crops, farmers are also able to increase profits by having more produce to sell. Although there are benefits to the use of pesticides, there have also been many problems associated with their use. Pesticides can move in the environment, in soil, water, and air. Human exposure to pesticides has caused poisonings, the development of diseases like cancer, and death. Using pesticides requires detailed attention to label instructions, as well as common sense and good judgment. Using improper storage procedures is an open invitation for a disaster to happen. Nearly 3/4 of all pesticide accidents are non-use accidents, often involving children less than 10 years of age. Improper pesticide storage is therefore dangerous to your health, your family, and can harm the environment. Guyana in recent years has seen an increase in pesticide-related incidents. A trained and certified pesticide user has a right to access pesticides, but that pesticide user must protect all others by ensuring these toxic substances are stored properly. In April 2015, Guyana prohibited another 21 pesticides and toxic chemicals that are highly hazardous to human health and the environment, making us one of the very few countries in this region to be in compliance with our obligations to the Rotterdam and Stockholm Conventions and other chemicals multilateral environment agreements. In 2015 report coming out of the Caribbean Regional Group ranks Guyana as a leader in chemicals management, a position that does not take away from the fact that there is still more work to be done. The Pesticide Board and the Ministry of Agriculture are committed to continue the work in all areas necessary to ensure sound chemicals management. This government wishes to protect the environment and, in turn, human health from the harmful effects of chemicals. It would like industry to be more proactive and compliant with national legislations and initiatives aimed at environmentally sound management of chemicals. The role of government, through the Pesticides Board, is to assist relevant industries in their responsibilities regarding chemicals management by sharing information, forming partnerships, and enforcing relevant legislation to manage the chemical industry safely and effectively. Besides safety and economics, improper storage of pesticides is contrary to regulations governing pesticide use. Government recognizes the need for the regulators themselves to demonstrate proper storage.
I would give a brief overview of the project. The board saw the need for proper storage. I think it came out to the fact that a lot of illegal pesticides were coming in the country and there was no proper facilities in which to store these things. So the need became very urgent. And this went on for a couple of years, where pesticides that were seized by the board, illegal pesticides, were not properly stored. And we went around looking at ways and means of having a proper facility. And in addition to that, it's also one of the requirements internationally for countries to have proper storage facilities for pesticides. So this is how this actually came about. And the board has been over the years, and especially since last year and this year, emphasizing the need for proper storage. And we really can't, as a board, talk to others about having proper storage when the board itself does not have proper storage. So that also propelled the need for us to have this facility built. The facility actually began, the construction began in December 2014, this last year, and it was completed in July of this year. I think Tricia and her staff would have gone through various specifications. I would have visited with Gaisugo. Gaisugo is the one agency in the country that has proper storage facilities for pesticides. So I know that they would have consulted with them, and I think we got a lot of help from them in terms of this facility. So thank you very much. I see Mr. Ryan here from Gaisugo. So they were very instrumental in helping us to design the facility. Storage would always be important. The idea is that this is, in fact, a national facility. It's not only for the pesticide board. It's going to be the facility for all pesticides that are hanging around there. The board had an exercise a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, I think, where they had gone around the country looking for obsolete pesticides to get them off of people's hands. And I think there is a fair amount of those pesticides still around. And Gaisugo, FAO has a project to get rid of these products. And the board, therefore, has gone around the country and collected these products, have them stored and waiting to be disposed of by FAO. So this is an ongoing exercise. The need for storage is always going to be there, because notwithstanding the efforts of the board in terms of talking about illegal pesticides not allowed to enter the country, we still have pesticides entering that are not registered. And these are being seized on a regular basis. And we must have some holding facility for this to happen, to store them. So this is important in terms of doing that sort of thing. We have a smaller project in terms of helping farmers to store pesticides in the Bedouin. And on display, we have in the facility what a proper storage facility should look like for farmers. So storage is an important aspect of the board's activity, is day-to-day work. We encourage people to store properly. All the pesticide importers have facilities of one kind or another, and it is the intention of the board to visit with them and ensure that these facilities are in keeping with what the standards recommend. Because one of the things that we're looking at right now is how pesticides are stored and the ease with which people have access to these products. More so now that suicide is in the air and people talk about the availability of pesticides and the ease with which these products can be obtained. But farmers need to use these products to produce their crops. But proper storage is one of the things we emphasize, and we are going to work along with the pesticide importers. We haven't told them this as yet, but for them to partner with us to help farmers to have these facilities built. Small cupboards, we have them, I say we have one in display there. But the board can't do it alone, so we're going to partner with our other stakeholders in helping farmers to acquire these things, and also to help those householders who buy products. But everybody uses pesticides, so it's to spread the message to everyone. You go into an input supplier on a daily basis, and who's there at the counter wanting to spray something? A housewife, a home gardener. So we have to look at this aspect of how we can make the product safe when they get it. So storage is a critical factor in the chain of pesticide use. And we will be very vigorous in our exercise in ensuring that proper storage is always available for pesticide users.